Hey everyone, Megan Stetson here filling in for Dr. Randy. Here with Dr. Tom today as we discuss two great guests, Bryan and Stephanie Tayara of Rosewood Market in Delhi in Rosewood, Columbia. Today we have a great episode for you. We talk about all things grocery store, health food markets, community events they're hosting in town, even Bryan's shampoo game, all the products that they offer, and cool community events that they're doing throughout the week. So listen, and we can't wait to have a great episode.
This episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Warren and Dillon, the Midland's trusted personal injury lawyers. Here's some great advice from our sponsor.
Hey there, Brett Warren with Warren and Dillon. I wanted to talk to you today about some of the biggest mistakes you can make when it comes to dealing with insurance companies. I think one of them is giving a recorded statement to the insurance company. The problem is that the insurance companies, they're doing these recorded statements to help their case and to hurt yours. And so they're going to ask some sneaky questions that are designed to hurt your case. One quick example, they'll ask how many feet away you were from the other car when you first noticed them. Nobody really knows the answer to that. But what they're going to do is they're going to say, hey, you should have noticed that other car, and now you're 20% at fault. So do yourself a favor, just don't do it or talk to a lawyer first. Trusted advice, proven results, Warren and Dillon.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Dr. Tom Stetson, alongside my beautiful wife, Megan Stetson. Our co-host is out right now. He is playing golf in Utah, I think it is. But we got a great show for you. We have Stephanie and Bryan Tayara from Rosewood Market. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So let's start off with just telling us about your love story, one, the two of you.
Okay.
And two, how you guys got into the supermarket business, health food store.
Okay.
Did you talk to Michaela before this?
No.
Okay. I was teeing up some things with her.
Oh,
I
really?
wonder what they're going to ask us. So I went into the love story, and she goes, "You have to share that.
See?
It's a good one."
My
I
innate
think.
just knew the people needed to hear.
Yeah. So do you want me to kick it off?
Well, let's start at the beginning of the timeline when I bought Rosewood Market.
Yes. Yes.
Jump to it.
Yeah, so I bought Rosewood Market in 2015. Before that, I was actually selling local seafood out front under a tent. For
Seafood
3
guy.
years.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I grew up in my family's seafood market and restaurant in Florence called Orange Land. And so I just wanted to have my own business, so I started selling local seafood. I go down to the coast and buy from the fishermen. I get fresh oysters and shrimp and whatever was in season. I'd bring it back to Rosewood Market and sell it. I did that for 3 years and super successful with it. And the original owner of Rosewood Market asked if I wanted to buy the store.
Just the seafood guy out front. He's like, hey, you look like a good owner
I guess
of a
he
store.
saw some potential in the seafood guy. So yeah, well, that was 10 years ago. So I think I've done pretty well.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
It's been awesome.
Was that like, I guess your parents were in the seafood business. They owned their own seafood stuff. So you kind of had some entrepreneur kind of family vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, my family is, my dad's Lebanese and we are all entrepreneurs. So
Sweet.
all my uncles are entrepreneurs. We're all, we just have it in our blood.
That's great.
Good. And
Good.
you got to have it in your blood.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. And is that then the line you used to land Stephanie? You were like, hey, I own a.
No, I'll let her tell
Health
you the
food store?
story. I'll let her.
Gosh.
She tells it a lot better than me.
I hope I do. So we actually met 6 years prior to our first date. We met at a fundraiser.
Just randomly.
Yeah, just randomly. So surprisingly, not at a bar and not on an app.
Nice.
Which is unheard of, I guess, these days. But anywho, I have no game whatsoever.
None.
How I ever have had a boyfriend
Neither do
is
I.
beyond me. I don't know. So anywho, we're at this event. It's the Bluegrass barbecue bidding that they use. I think they still hold it, but I'm, just leaving the little stand, have my wine, looking at some silent auction items, and here comes this tall, dreamy guy with blue eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And the funny thing is, I was just gotten into a relationship. He had just left a relationship, but he walks up and he's just, hey, and introduces
baby
himself. Yeah, like, haven't seen you around here. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. Obviously you haven't because I've never been to this event. I mean,
first
just
time.
really
Real
bad.
logical.
But he's like, yeah, do you know how this silent auction works? And
It
I'm
was
just
an app.
aloof.
It was so confusing, and I
Yeah,
was
like,
it's
yeah.
not the
Perfect
traditional
to ask her.
method. And I'm just like, no, I don't. You can read the paper and scan the QR
let me
code,
find you the paper.
So that was kind of the initial,
Yeah.
I guess,
And you
flame.
remember that from 6 years prior.
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
what she was wearing.
Wow.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Magical,
Same.
majestical.
Yeah. So,
When you know, you know.
Yeah.
yeah. But when all was said and done, kind of modern day, you.
Creep on them on Facebook and
Oh,
Instagram.
yeah. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
I found her.
Yeah, you
That's
have
the funny
to.
thing is I didn't know this until
Yeah.
we started dating. He was like, I was looking everywhere, tags and hashtags.
Right.
Where were you? You know, because he eventually found me, connected on Instagram, and would just ask random questions about stories I posted. But anywho,
But then
you
one
know,
day I looked at her page and all the pictures of her boyfriend were gone. I was like, what's up?
slide my DMs.
Nice.
So yeah, that's kind of how it all started.
It's great.
Our first date was a hike that was 2 hours away.
Really?
Yeah.
So you went 2-hour car ride,
Uh-huh.
first date, could have been super awkward.
Yeah.
What are you talking about on the car ride?
Everything. We were
Everything.
Yeah.
singing.
Actually-
it was the best time. We
Yeah.
had such a
Probably
good
kind of nice because you don't have to really make eye contact.
time. Yeah.
You're looking
Which
straight
is the
ahead.
awkward part of a first date. You're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
really-
comfortable. That's
yeah.
nice. Okay.
We went on a hike. We got dinner afterwards.
Yeah. So it kept
It was
going.
Yeah.
It kept going.
And we never stopped. We've been traveling and eating dinner.
So what year was this? Like, when did you guys make it official?
You look back, 2021?
2020.
2020.
The end of
Oh,
September, to be exact.
Okay.
I knew that much. but,
Nice.
Yeah. COVID was the solidifier.
Yeah. Then
we-
you guys had to mask up, so then you couldn't look at each
Well,
other.
she got
Yeah.
COVID, and so she just stayed at my house for a little while.
There you go.
Never
And
looked
I
back.
never left.
Yes,
Never
she never
left.
left. Exactly.
Today's episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Columbia Family Chiropractic, with 3 easy-to-get-to locations, one in Forest Acres, which is by Trader Joe's, one in O'Neill Court by the DMV, and one in the Northeast by Sand Hills. You'll be sure to have somewhere near you. They offer a ton of services from corrective care, on-site digital x-rays, spinal decompression for bulging or herniated discs, dry needling for injuries, pediatric care, and a Class 4 laser. They accept all your major insurances. And if you mention this ad, you'll get a discount on your first appointment. Check out their website at cfc4health.com or Google Columbia Family Chiropractic. That's cfc4health.com.
And so then so then you get married and then you become involved in Rosewood Market. Like, how did that
Yeah.
one thing lead to another?
Yeah, so we got married in Paris, actually.
That's fun.
We were like, should we
That's
have
sweet.
a big party and have tons of people there, or let's just elope? It was just the two of us.
Yeah.
We went. We hired a photographer. We got
Great.
married in Montmartre. What's the big
Eiffel Tower?
Basilica? I
Oh.
can't remember the name.
Oh,
I know what you're talking about.
the
Sacre
Notre
Coeur.
Dame.
Sacre Coeur.
Yeah, the Sacred
it's the
Heart.
one
I
on the
could
top,
not-
on the hill.
Okay.
Beautiful. Got married right in front of that.
Yeah.
It was nice.
But I came from the insurance industry. So I was in the insurance industry for a little over 10 years.
Okay.
And left this past December. And that's when I started getting involved in Rosewood Market. So prior to that, I was doing my own thing, talent development,
Yeah.
kind of.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so then that gave me some time. We needed a bookkeeper. So
There you are.
surprisingly,
around. Yeah,
I'm
there you
keeping the
are.
books,
Yeah.
which is
I mean, we get
You
it.
know?
We've kind of done the same thing even in our own business.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's it been like working together as a spouse couple?
good. Really?
She's
Good.
my best friend. I get to hang out with my best friend all
We're
day,
cheesy.
every day.
That's awesome.
We have so many people like, I would kill my husband if I worked with him. And I was like,
Yeah.
I actually like him. I mean,
Yeah.
and we know when we're in certain headspaces or moods, and we're like, okay, he's not going to talk to me if I'm over there huffing
Right.
and puffing.
Yeah.
And
Right.
if he's zoned out, I'm like, probably not a good time, So,
Yeah.
Perfect.
yeah.
So I'm curious about just when you buy the store in 2015, what was the culture like of the store then? What were some of the things that you just went in and started making changes on now 10 years later?
Yeah, I was 29, and a lot of the employees that were there had been there for 20,
Right.
30 years. They were
You're
my
the young
parents'
guy.
age,
Yeah.
and now they work for me, and I'm walking in. Never owned a grocery store before, never had one employee, much less 34 when I started.
Wow.
So it was a steep learning curve, and I stepped on a lot of feet, made a lot of mistakes. There were a lot of things that I wanted to change. There were a lot of things that I wanted to keep the same. So
Right.
I was kind of having to decide, because you don't want to. I'm buying something that is really special. It was Columbia's It is Columbia's first health food store.
Right.
I didn't want to screw
Yes.
it up. I just want to make it better. And so deciding how to keep the vibe of Rosewood Market, how to keep the soul, but then also update it. You know, it hadn't been painted since 1989. I painted it. I changed the floors. I changed a lot of things that just needed to be updated, but I kept the same energy. I kept the love, you know. A lot of employees, you know, they didn't want to work for a 29-year-old, so I had to hire new people and make sure I hire the right people and training them. And it has been a struggle, but I read a lot of books and got a lot of mentors and asked a lot of questions and joined all the CEO groups I could find and everything, just educating myself as much. Because I went to culinary school.
Right.
You know, I went to culinary school. They don't teach you how to be an employer. They don't teach you how the psychology of having employees and how to create a cool, fun workplace. You know, I had knives thrown at me. You know what I'm saying? I was called an idiot. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Starting out in the restaurant industry. So that is not the energy that you should bring to your business to start. So I had to educate myself.
Right.
It was the most work was on me, not the business. So but it's been fun.
That's
and
such
I think
a good
it's such a
point.
great place now. You know?
Yeah. Is there anybody that's still with you from back then?
Yeah.
There are. That's
Yeah.
great. That's cool.
Yep.
And then did you guys sit down and talk like core values or any phrases, missions, niches, things that you wanted to kind of make the community aware of when you purchased it? Or even over time?
You know, honestly, when I purchased it, I was trying not to make too many waves. You know,
Yeah.
I really wanted to learn as much as I could about the business before I start tinkering with it, you know. But I did come up with some core values. I wish I could spout them off to you right now. But it's just like, be nice, be honest.
Right.
And we hire based on that. I ask questions, you know, you have a year, 2 years, I don't care. If you're a cool person, if you're good, you're cool to work with, you have you're a self-starter, that's what I'm hiring. I can teach you how to do whatever, but you got to be a cool person. You got to be fun to work with. You got to, you know, carry on the vibe of Rosewood Market.
That's great.
So going back to like the inception of Rosewood, prior to you, was it just one owner or is there multiple owners?
There was one owner, and he started. It was actually Columbia's first vegetarian restaurant is how it started on Rosewood Drive, and then he after I'm not sure how many years, but after that he started bringing in groceries and then moved a little bit further down Rosewood Drive and opened the grocery store that it is now. He started in '89.
Okay.
And then I bought it in 2015.
That's awesome. And was it just like a natural transition? They were ready to sell, like they were aging, like, or were they moving out of the area?
Yeah, he was getting older, ready to let it go, and I was just
eager and ready to start.
Ready, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's funny because it was so outdated. You know what I mean? Like it was cool, it's very retro, but like we didn't have a POS system. Every single item in that store had a little price tag on it.
Wow.
So like I put in a POS system. I changed all the lighting. Every light bulb was a little different color. It's been a
Ceiling
project.
tile.
It's been a lot of fun. I love this kind of stuff.
I never thought about POSs until the Gourmet Shop was on that podcast, and they told us they had like over 40,000 SKUs.
Yeah.
And now every time I walk in there, all I can think about is all the SKUs that are in the store.
Yeah.
What does that look like, implementing a POS system and getting everything like up to date with technology? Like what kind of barriers did you have to overcome with that?
It was so hard to do. To build the database, we had to go through. We use a company called ECRS, and they're based. They specialize in grocery stores, so they did help us out a lot. But we had to go through and scan every single item in the store to create the database.
Was it fun, like a wedding registry, or
the first 10 scans were fun, and then like, oh my god, you know, we had to do that and enter the price and all that kind of stuff. So, but the hardest part was just training us to use it. Like if you take something off, if something breaks off the shelf, you can't just throw it. We have to take it out of inventory. You know, we had to kind of learn. It's a whole new operating system.
Yeah.
But it's allowed us to do a lot of cool stuff. We have a lot of data that we can go through.
Very cool.
A lot of all of our sales are on there. Before it was just a receipt, a printer tape.
Yeah.
So now I can look at analytics. I can make decisions. We can look at our margin, make sure everything is priced the same. It was eye-opening when we got the POS because we're like, oh my God, we're selling this for cost. and we had no way to track it. I
clue,
mean, it's
yeah.
all like you just have to kind of you get your invoices and match them all up.
Right.
And when you have, like you said, thousands and thousands of items, it's easy for things to slip through the cracks. So
Is your system now, like, say when the cost goes up on your end, will it automatically adjust so that you're selling it for a little bit more? Because I
Yeah.
could see that getting lost in the mix.
yeah, and that's how. So when we receive a shipment, we put it into a worksheet, and then we type in the price that we paid for it.
Gotcha.
It'll spark it red. It'll say, "Oh, this is up," and then we'll change the price.
That makes sense.
Very
Nice.
cool. And if the listeners don't know, POS stands for point of sale. So
Yeah,
it's your point of
not,
sale system.
Yeah.
Not that with POS.
So it can help track. But that's
Yeah, I was
really
like,
cool
we
to
just got a
see
new
the
POS system. And
Yeah.
they're like, are you upset about it? You don't like the system, or
Are you gonna fire them?
Now tell us about the as owners, what's your hours look like at a grocery store, and like just a typical week for you guys.
Well, so the store is open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday
Yep.
through Saturday, and 10 to 6. We pop in and out. You know, we have
Nice.
we
You're
have
not-
things to do. You know, but we might work 2 hours a day. We might work 10 hours a day.
Gotcha.
It's just kind of all over the place.
And a lot of that, is that like you in the kitchen? Is that you kind of on the floor? What's the
I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
Sometimes you drive by and I'm on the roof. So,
He's not lying.
it's everything. And I'm like, I'm the chief problem solver. So when everything's going right, cool. But when there's problems, hey Bryan, so I'm like, like I said, I'm on the roof. I have half my body in the ceiling trying to fix the electrical thing, or, you know, so.
Tom can relate to this really well because sometimes he tells me that he's the head maintenance man. And so he just
like a
drives.
luxury escort in
Yeah.
the maintenance department?
Because we have 3 offices with 3 children, and we kind of like drive around to each one and are like, all right, who needs the light bulbs fixed? Who needs something painted? Oh, this has a crack. So we get that on a very
Well,
real
I'm over there
level.
smiling and just keeping it,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it up.
absolutely.
So it feels like you guys have a lot of loyal customers too, which is awesome. I would imagine, and I don't know when it happened, but when did Whole Foods come in? When did even Earth Fare in the, I know probably prior to you having it, right?
Yeah, Earth Fair, I think, was in the early 2000s, I believe.
And then Whole Foods
Whole
was,
Foods was like 2013,
Yeah.
I think, something like that. And we took a hit a little bit when they opened, but we're a way cooler grocery store.
Right,
We have a way
right.
cooler vibe. We're not that corporate kind of feel.
Yes.
You come in, we don't wear uniforms. We don't have name tags. We remember people's names. We remember their kids' names. You know, it's just it's more relaxed.
Yeah.
A lot of people will come when they're having a bad day. They come to Rosewood Market. They call it Rosewood Market Therapy. You know, and they leave with a smile on their face.
That's great. And are you guys, I know you guys are big in community stuff. How do you, I guess, get the pulse or the voice of the community? Is that through your employees that are talking with people daily, and how do you make changes based on what's happening in the community?
It's a good collection between employees, the front line. We get a lot of, Facebook feedback.
Requests and
People
Google
love to give
reviews.
feedback.
And,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah. And so I guess you kind of, we sit down and we'll, kind of discuss some things that have come up a few times, and we decide, like, is it a good change? Is it a good shift? Is it worth us, kind of the pros and cons, really. Can't make everybody happy and take every piece of advice,
Right.
but we're open to it. We
Right.
want to make ourselves better and improve and give the people what they want. So
Great.
Every day we get a little bit better.
Absolutely.
We just started not Taco Tuesday.
Coming up next.
Pizza party. Oh, maybe tacos next. Yeah, no, we're having pizza parties on Tuesday. I just see there's not a whole lot to do on a Tuesday
Right.
afternoon, and we
Right.
just started making take and bake pizzas. So now on Tuesdays from 4 to 7, I make hot pizzas. We do $5 slices, $5
Sweet.
glass of wine. And it's fun. We got a review, and they gave us a lot of feedback of how to make the next one better. I'll leave it at that. So next one's gonna be better.
Yeah.
We're gonna have music. We're gonna
So
have
people
all
can
that
eat
stuff.
them in store, or you have them where they can just take them.
Yeah.
Like, would they order them almost like a pizza shop? Like, call ahead and say, hey.
So
I'd
we
like
have
to-
the pizzas already made. You can
Oh,
just buy.
nice.
Yeah, it's already made.
Come back to the deli.
Yep.
Brian was back there serving them up. But we had a lot of families out there too, which was good because there's not a lot of good stuff for families and their kids.
Right.
to do.
Right.
We've got a nice patio. We've had families with their kids running around, and
I tell them, like, it's not going to be the best pizza you've ever had in your life. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring the community together.
Right.
We're trying to
Something to
let
do.
people meet people and see people they haven't seen in a while. And I just want to see a crowd of people. I'm not trying to be the best pizza restaurant in town, but
Yeah, it's kind of that idea of like a third space somewhere in town,
Yeah.
like where somewhere someone can go on a night they wouldn't otherwise go out to just like hang out and convene with the community members,
Yeah.
get to know each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys love that location? I mean, it feels like it's in the heart of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But do you ever see yourself moving? Do you ever see yourself expanding? Tell me what
I
that
was going
looks
to say,
like.
we need something fun in the Northeast.
Love a Northeast.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
Yeah.
Little plug.
We're actually in the beginning stages
We'll
of
send you a
opening.
Facebook
we
message.
want to open a store in Lexington.
Oh,
And
nice.
so we're kind of getting geared up, getting our staff geared up and trained to be able to open another store and keep the same
Vibe.
the same vibe, the same energy.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm not rushing it. I could go really fast, but I just
Yeah.
I want to do it organically.
See how it works. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's how we kind of look at things. Is we look for buildings and we don't really put a timeline on it. We kind of have set our goals of like where we're looking and when we want to open and these sort of things, but we want it to fall into place.
But yeah, we love Rosewood. We love
Yeah.
we love the area. I wish my store
walkable,
was
too.
bigger. If it was twice the
That's what I was
size,
gonna-
I could fill it.
Yeah.
But exactly where it is perfect. I have like a park feel. I don't know if you've ever been there, but we have like park benches
Yeah.
outside. It's like
Oh, yeah.
we are trying to use every inch of the parking lot and everything we have.
That's what I was wondering layout wise. Like, what do you have an ideal square footage in mind, or the bigger you go, you could figure it out? Kind of
Yeah,
thing?
we're around 4,000 square
Yeah.
feet, I think now. I'd like to be around 6,000.
Wow. Yeah. How much of that is like food prep area, the square footage wise?
I'd say 20%.
20% on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all behind the scenes
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, nice. And then is there anything that you would like if you could get that extra 2,000 right now, what would you add or what would you put in?
I would just put more of what we have. We have the best produce in town,
Yeah.
and I'd love to have a bigger produce department. I'd love to be able to have a bigger chocolate section, have a bigger soup set. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we have everything. It's like, I mean, it's easy to shop. You
Right.
come in and there's not tons. It's not overwhelming. But there's so much cool stuff in the natural product space. There's all the new products that come out. They almost always start in the natural, natural stuff. So we always have something new. And sometimes it's like, I love to order. I love.
Yeah.
I mean, first and foremost, I love to grocery shop.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like grocery shopping for a grocery store.
Yes.
And so I order too much sometimes, and my store buyer's like, you gotta chill. I don't have anywhere to put this.
Did Bryan make another order? That's all.
I guess how often does stuff come in? Is that like a daily thing?
Just about every day.
Yeah.
And then produce is
So my produce guy goes to the farmer's market and his other farmers 3 days a week.
Sweet.
And then they deliver. Farmers and stuff will deliver on those off days. We're getting packages in the mail.
Yeah.
We get 2 huge truckloads once a week.
nice.
So yeah, it's an everyday thing.
Just grocery shop. I actually like grocery shopping myself as well. The whole concept of just reading about it, I feel like it's very tough margin wise to stay. Like I heard like restaurants and like produce or grocery shops, they're hard to get into the profit side of it, right? Was it I mean, I guess it was established for a while, but like somebody drops a can of soup and breaks, the produce goes bad. How with your systems have you seen big downside, especially during COVID time? Or tell us like what are the big challenges that happen with stuff like that, like food going bad or waste or any of that stuff?
Well, everything has an expiration date on it. I think the challenge is to catch it, a few weeks before things
Get it on
expire,
sale
so
or
we can put it on sale
Yeah.
and move it out. And that's something that we literally pay people just walk up and down the shelves,
Just
and
looking at everything,
checking
yeah.
dates and making sure everything is good. But yeah, I would say that over the years we order better. Now that we're tracking waste, we can see. We maybe don't order so much, or we even have like AI capabilities with our POS system, so it can tell us what to order
Really?
based
That's
on
cool.
like 2 years of data. So we are ordering better, and that's a big profit killer. Is like just throwing stuff in the
Right.
trash,
Right.
But luckily we don't. I mean, we really don't have a huge waste problem. When things are expired but they're still good, the staff eats them. They love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our produce, we have the best produce in town, and as soon as we get a spot on an apple, or we transfer it to the deli and we cook it.
Sweet. Yeah.
Well, we don't cook the apples.
That's kind of, that is nice that you just like,
Yeah.
you could utilize it.
It's
and
an
then sell it.
ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's an ecosystem, and we
That's
try to
great.
keep the waste down to a bare minimum.
What stats would you say are like your key metrics that you guys look at? Like, is there anything from the business, like larger, just kind of looking down on it, that if somebody is in the grocery space, that you would say, here's our like key indicators that we look at weekly, daily, whatever.
KPIs. Yeah, actually, Stephanie is in charge of our scorecard.
Yeah, so I built out our little dashboard, but we take a look at, and we're reviewing them actually weekly. So we have weekly manager meetings, so we kind of keep on top of that. But I've started doing, which we haven't had in the past, but just our year over year sales.
Yeah.
Like, have we increased? Have we decreased? And we do that for each department. So I go in and break it all out. We're taking a look at what is the average basket size, or you know,
Right.
when someone comes to check out, what is that average amount that they're checking out with? And obviously, like, our cost of goods for anything that we sell.
Yeah.
Those are huge.
My favorite is
Yeah.
our sales per linear foot.
That
so
actually is a
we
good
measure
one. Yeah.
all the shelves. This is so
You went around with
nerdy.
a-
But I did. I measured, and it actually worked, because it was like, man, off of this 4 feet, I'm making this much profit.
Right.
But after that 4 feet over there, I'm making 10 times more. We need to make that 8 feet. So
Right.
we took our grab and go. We had a 4 foot grab and go space and a refrigerator, and we were killing it. And when I saw the number compared to like beer or other things, I was like,
Right.
man. So now we have 20 feet of grab and go
That's
space.
awesome.
So.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, that's cool. That's what I think obviously the big corporations like Walmart and those, they know
Yeah.
the areas and all that. Have you ever looked into like the grocery store psychology books? And I think it was something like you walk into the store and one of the big corporations said like you want a fragrance. So like a lot of times you'll see the flowers are right there.
Yeah.
Or the bakery
We
is
put our
right there.
produce, our fresh produce. You want to see something living.
Yes.
Yeah. So we actually sell plants. So we have plants by the front door, though. That's one of the first things. We have lights on them and stuff. So you see something living, then you'll see our awesome produce.
Yes.
And our cashier smiling at you.
The
And
deli, though. I mean, so the deli operates. I mean, they're getting in at 7 a.m., but they wrap up around 3. But
Yeah.
I mean, the food has started cooking in the
So you
morning.
smell-
So
yeah.
the sweet potatoes. Oh my god, the
That's what I was
cinnamon
wondering. Yeah.
is so nice. It's cozy.
Is that something where like you want like the things that people mostly buy? Do you want that in the back of the store that forces people to walk through it all? Like that was kind of what I was wondering, is if there's, or like I read something like for kids, you'd put certain things on shelves that kids, their height are going to be like, I want this, and then change up. Do you guys?
yeah, but now we have kids that are opening the packages.
I don't know if it's intentional.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw it the other day. This woman came with her kid, and the kid opens the chocolate. And
Right.
It's like, can I get this? And she's like, oh, it's
Have to
already
now.
open,
Yeah.
But we have too. When you walk in, we have popsicles.
Yeah.
And so it's kid friendly height, and that's the first thing they run to.
They
They're
want
opening it up,
Yeah.
throwing it in there.
Is there a little kid section? Like I think, like where they can grab an apple or something like that. Do you guys do any of that?
No, but if they come through the deli, our
They'll
deli
give 'em
staff gives them like
Little snack.
blueberries or little
Yeah.
strawberries, whatever we might
That's
have. They get a little treat when they come through.
But yeah, as far as groceries shopping I shop
Yeah.
grocery stores. When we leave town, we're hitting every grocery
You're checking
store.
them out. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I just know, like, I'm very self-aware of
Yep.
what I see first and how
Yes.
to make it so I can make a quick
More
decision.
appealing, yeah.
Yeah, make it have the prices clear signage. Like I said, I love the grocery
Yeah.
shop. So
Prior, like outside of your store, what was your like favorite one when you're on vacation to go to?
I was just there
Yeah.
last week. We went
Oh,
to
good for
Erewhon.
Erewhon?
Erewhon in Los Angeles. They have 10 stores, but I used to live in Los Angeles, and they only had one store, and it was a lot like Rosewood Market.
Really?
But now, dude, they hit the big time. It's awesome. I love going there. I try to go there once a year. They always have the new products.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw, they had like a viral $19 strawberry. It was
It came on like a pillow and a case.
Like, is it a massive strawberry? Or
I
what
don't
was
know.
the-
I wasn't there last week. I was going
It's
to get
harvested
it.
in a certain way that
That's
is
From
at
Japan
its
or
peak.
something. But it's so much fun. The energy
Yeah.
in the store. It's so many people. I think Haley
Bieber.
Yeah.
has her.
Has
Has her
Oh, that's
smoothie.
where she
Yeah.
has
$20
that.
smoothie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is, and it's.
And that's only California right now? Is that where all their
they're only in
stores
the
are?
LA area.
Yeah.
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 But that's one of my favorite stores to shop.
Yep. That's
No,
good.
I loved Tiny Grocer when we went to
Oh, in
Austin.
Austin. Yeah, it's
Really
nice.
cute. Really, I mean, it's a tiny grocery
Yeah.
store. But they had behind this they had a neon sign that said "Hold me closer, tiny grocer," and I enjoyed that.
But that's something we've kind of been exploring. Is like, do we need a bigger store? Maybe we need a smaller store. Maybe
Like
we need a small.
condense it, yeah.
Maybe I need like a bodega, like a really healthy convenience store.
Right.
So that's kind of
That would
something,
be cool.
and I see that being a trend. Like
Yeah.
we have big box grocery stores, but they cannot go to the city center. Not
Right,
usually,
right.
They can't go to these like densely populated areas where
Right.
I can just get a little small store and have all the best of all the things that you need, and it's quick to shop. That's what we're exploring. So.
And do you think you would stay with the brand Rosewood Market, or if you went into other locations, would you adapt to that area, or was your moniker just?
I thought about that. Rosewood Market's been around for a long time. We have a lot of name recognition.
Yeah.
Right.
That's basically what I bought when I bought Rosewood Market.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm gonna keep it the same. I don't think there's any other Rosewood Market.
And I don't
the
think people
country,
would
so-
associate just the area Rosewood with the name. Like Rosewood's such a pretty name.
It's a pretty name.
that
Yeah.
I feel like it could go anywhere and
Yeah.
be anything, and people wouldn't necessarily just be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's a part of Columbia."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
How many staff do you guys have now?
Now we have 19,
No, I think 22.
22.
Yeah.
22.
And then you guys are mentioning, so you do manager meetings. What other, do you guys follow any sort of system? Like we got on board with EOS, it's called.
Yeah.
And we do all their like level 10 meetings and quarterly meetings and all that, like the KPIs and all that stuff. Do you guys do anything like that or have anything?
So, like, what, 7 years ago, I was in the Vistage group with Neil. I don't know if you do. Are you with Neil on EOS?
We just met with him.
Yeah, Neil's an
Yeah.
awesome guy. Neil was our Vistage chair, and so he gave us all the books and told us all about you. We haven't done EOS, but I'm very familiar with EOS.
Yeah.
And no, we just have we're there every day. We're
Yeah.
bumping shoulders with the people every day. It's like we do have a managers meeting where we discuss important things. And little issues that come up and things that we need to fix right then. But we're not like fully EOS or anything
Yeah.
like that.
What's the
Nice.
biggest challenge facing the grocery store industry, or your grocery store specifically right now?
Just over the past year, I think more and more people are shopping online. And
Yeah.
I've resisted it. I could easily just have, with my POS, I could just click a button and have
Yeah.
an online store. I don't want to do that.
I hate grocery
I
shopping
think that's
online.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
just soulless. It's
I
just
wanna
go
it's
and
just
I
a
wanna-
commodity. Yeah.
I want to see what it
I want to
looks like.
touch the
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
I need to like walk up and I want to see what speaks to me. I'm like, I gotta see. And Tom thinks I'm a bad grocery shopper because
She is. She doesn't buy enough stuff.
He thinks I undershop. He's like I'll go and I like you said, like when people are like, oh, it's Rosewood therapy, it's kind of cathartic to go to the grocery store and be like, okay, what am I going to nourish my family with? What am I going to make for dinner? What am I like, the whole thing. But he'll be like, what did you get? And I'm like, some sprouts,
A cracker.
couple avocados.
But she's
like-
going back tomorrow.
Some
Yeah.
water. But I do like to go to the grocery store a lot. So like we might go to the grocery store every day. And like venture to all different places around town.
Yeah.
Like we've got the things we get at Costco because we know our kids are going to eat this same thing over and over and over again for as long as they live. And then we have our other things that are more like niche.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point, though, too, is we put so much love, and I say we, it's more so Bryan. He's really thoughtful in the design and what it looks like in the layout.
Yeah.
I just root on. I'm a really good.
She's my number one fan.
Yeah, that's it. So, but we want to bring people in because we've added so much cool stuff.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I think Randy had mentioned maybe he's like, I'm not a vibe guy, and I'm like, you got to get it on the vibe because it's
He
so
doesn't get it.
enjoyable.
I know.
To come in and just.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
we did
nice.
talk about you
Yeah.
guys and Michaela. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so back in the day when I lived in Los Angeles, I actually went to culinary school, and part of the curriculum of culinary school was I had to do for one semester do an internship.
yeah.
So I was like, I'm shooting for the star. I went to LA. I started working with Wolfgang Puck at
No
Spago Beverly
kidding.
Hills. And so I would work 10, 12 hours a day. And on my days off, what am I doing? I'm walking around grocery stores.
Just
It's like I love food.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
all the packaging. I love reading about it because I grew up in Florence. We don't have a health food store in Florence.
Right.
And this was a whole new world for me. And so that's what I did. I mean, I'm surprised no one called the cops. I was probably there for 2 hours,
Yeah.
just walking around.
Taking pictures.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy cooking now? Like, do you
love cooking.
Do you? What are meals like?
Really good.
Yeah.
The dishes are really clean too. That's me.
I cook, she cleans. Yeah, so I mean, we eat meat. We're not vegetarian.
Yeah.
We're vegans. A lot of people think we're vegans because we own
Yeah.
a vegan grocery store, kind of. But no, we eat meat. We get all our groceries from Rosewood Market.
Yeah.
I love to eat steaks. We eat ground beef. We eat real simple.
Nice.
We're working out with a trainer now, Shane Harris in Lexington, and we have to text him every day what we eat.
Oh, really? He's documenting it all. That's great.
Yeah.
Choose not to
So
respond
what we
to
eat
those
really well.
messages.
I got one of these big grills, the big like Argentinian style grills, when you can wind it
Oh,
I've been-
that's cool.
I've been experimenting with that and having people come over.
Do you use a lot of like what the hell are they called? The temperature gauges. Is that what it's called?
Thermometer?
Yeah.
Thermometer.
Oddly enough, the last one we had, it literally melted off of the wire.
Really?
It was like the whole point. is so you can
Yes.
Put
So we've
this in
gotten
the
better
oven.
ones.
Yeah.
What we do.
I've seen those ones that are now like you just plug it in and it goes to your phone.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
meter.
Those are kind of sweet.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
of those. Yeah.
Knives. Does it really make a difference, or is it all about the?
How
Yeah.
often you sharpen it too?
I'm honing it every single time. I'll sharpen it once a week. or so.
Honing.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Or is it?
We have like the honing steel, and you kind of because
See,
you
I-
have the burrs will be like that, and you got to straighten them up.
So with any shitty knife, can you sharpen it? Like
You
if
can, but if it's shitty, it won't stay sharp.
it just doesn't stay sharp.
Yeah, so I spent my whole paycheck on
A
a
knife
nice
set?
Japanese knife.
Yeah.
One Japanese knife. I
Jeez.
still have it though,
Yeah.
so it's still good, easy to sharp, stay sharp for a
the
while. Knife is important.
Kids threw it in the sink one time. So
Oh, yeah, they got a lesson. But when I go to my parents' house, they all have shitty knives. I'm just like, I can't cook here.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't do this.
I don't like bad knives. And when we're at Soda City Market, I always walk past the guy who has like the knife sharpening station, and I'm like, every Saturday I say to him, "Oh, I'm gonna bring my knives next week," and he's like, "Yeah, sure you are." But
the worst is
Learn how to sharpen knives.
Yeah.
It's really not
well,
hard.
we
If you
have
get
like a
It's an electronic thing. You just set it in, and I just don't know if it does anything. And then I was like, well, it's probably
I
because
think
our
it'll-
knives suck.
If you like push too hard, it'll kind of warp your blade.
Yeah.
Just get you a nice block. I can't remember exactly what it's called. Block and just learn how to do it. It's not hard. And just kind of get nerdy with it for a little while, and then you
all right, Tom.
have some.
I
sharp
want
New
I,
project.
I want sharp knives.
Yeah, he wants really nice knives. Father's
I got my
Day.
knife from Korin.com, Korin.com.
Yeah.
They're like a little small, like Japanese knives and all kinds of like
Yep.
grills and stuff. They're based out of New York City, but they have some of the best knives.
What style do you go with? If I'm getting one knife, what?
One knife? So you want to get something pretty, big,
Big.
not huge.
Yeah.
So at least
Comfortable.
8 inches. Comfortable.
I tell my
Say
wife
it.
comfortable.
comfortable knife.
So I just have a regular chef's
Yeah.
knife. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
I'm able to do everything with it.
Now, what kind of tunes are you guys playing in Rosewood? And is that a big thing?
Big thing.
Yeah.
It's a big part of the Rosewood therapy is the music. We all kind of collaborate on it though. We have we have a Spotify account, so
But a yacht rock.
Yeah.
sometimes yacht rock.
Who gets to control it? Like, is there a person that's
It's whoever is audacious enough to walk in there and change the music.
Yeah.
But we hire cool people with cool tastes, so we always have. It's always new. It's always something different.
nice?
We were doing that like Latin music, Latin instrumental
Yeah,
for a while.
that's nice.
Like, all right, we gotta calm.
Yeah.
we gotta calm down.
I was laughing. We found a blog post about grocery shopping
Yeah.
and what songs they play.
Right.
And so we were just laughing.
If you hear
It's like,
Tame Impala, you're paying too much.
yeah. That's got Natasha Bedingfield.
That's
You're
funny.
good.
But we had some. I played hip hop music a few weeks ago, and some of the old ladies were.
They didn't
upset
like it.
about
Yeah.
that.
Any like swear words? You putting swear words out
No,
there?
because we
go
no,
clean.
we go clean.
Yeah.
You know, family friendly.
We've had that
yeah.
accidentally happen in
Yeah.
the clinic.
Oh
Yeah, we did Motown Mondays for a while, which was a hit. Like that, it's kind of nice for all age groups, but then you hit that like, I don't know, 50 to 70-year-old crew loves it. You know?
I love
We're
it.
sticking around a little bit longer. Just to
Yeah. Oh yeah. What's the family health routine look like for you guys? Like, so you guys trainer.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys are doing out there in the health world?
Yeah. I mean, well, your bike is coming, but I like to bike. I get out and ride around our neighborhood.
Really, like an
live-
outdoor deal?
Yeah.
Not the Peloton.
No, I've got to get
You gotta get the
outside.
fresh
I'm not
air.
a treadmill person. I'm not a
Yep.
stationary bike. That's just me, though. I like to.
And we live out in Chapin. We live right near the lake. So there's like we see deer on our walks. We see all kind of wildlife. So it's really like a little nature hike when we walk around. We try to get the kids to come with us, but
Yeah.
That's tough. Yeah, they don't.
They don't want
do it.
video
Do-
games.
Yeah, it's too hot. It's too hot.
and we have a gym in our house, so we're always lifting and working out. And
Yeah.
We got a
try to stay
sauna out there, so we do a little
Nice.
bit of sauna, cold
Sauna,
plunge.
cold plunge.
You got into the cold plunge game? Tell us about that. That's something that I just never, I mean, I've done it, but
She's better than me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, in
I was in there
when
this morning.
when it ices over, she breaks the ice.
get
and
in
gets
there.
Yeah. I don't
How
know
long
what
you
it
in
is.
for?
I think the longest that I did was 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
Wow.
I think that was. And it was raining and it was icy.
Damn.
You sat out there, you were like under the shelter.
But it feels so
watching me.
good, because we'll do it like after workout. We're hitting the sauna,
Right.
And you're just so hot, you want to jump in,
Yeah.
So
But I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't get in there and I'm like, woo. I mean,
Like, oh, this is great.
I love this. No, I mean, you've got to like breathe through it.
Yes.
And, you got to untuck the hands because I like to kind of keep them tucked in.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that's
Tight. Yeah.
It's destroying. You got to get out of it.
Yeah.
But you feel great. You feel when you get out, it's like,
Yeah.
You
you
do
feel
feel
amazing.
good.
Do you guys have an infrared sauna, or is it like a cold one that gets hot, like really, really hot?
Yeah, the cold one.
Okay.
Or the
Yeah,
I
you
don't
can,
know.
you can
Yes,
put,
yeah.
you can pour a little bit of water over the thing, get some steam
Yeah.
in there.
yeah.
Because we have an infrared and it doesn't get hot. Like I love the idea of hot cold, but
Yeah.
the sauna wouldn't warm us up.
Yeah, you gotta
enough.
get you a real.
You gotta get,
Yeah,
like,
because I got it. We
the
go
one
to
that
we
gets
go to a place in
steamy.
Asheville called Sauna House.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you heard of it? It's real cool. And so we go in there, and they had for a little while they had an infrared. And I got it. I was like, I feel like I'm in a microwave.
Yeah.
Like a easy bake
Yeah.
oven. So we got in the. I love the steam. That's what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever rollerblade? I feel like Brian's a rollerblade guy.
No, and if I did roller, I would not.
Now I
Really?
want to see it.
The knee pads, the elbow
But
pad.
when I was skating,
Did you skate like skateboard?
No.
Oh,
No, just for fun,
Yeah.
But I did have rollerblades.
I
could
kinda
go
miss 'em.
backwards.
Yeah.
I could.
Like when I was in middle school, I would hammer some rollerblades for a while and jumping and the whole
I
nine.
have roller skates. They're in the back. I stay in the back of my
Yeah.
car. You never know when
You never know when you want to skate.
Right.
But we're cool. We're lucky because we have like a, I don't know, what is it called? It's an ice skating rink right down the street.
Oh,
yeah.
The Plex, you guys are out that
Yeah.
way. Oh, you're
I'm
up
like
there
the
then.
Oh,
best
yeah.
skating adult because I had some training in my
Yeah.
when I was, younger on rollerblades.
Yeah. Do you do the ice skating too? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to work for the hockey team in Greenville.
Oh really?
Used to
The
work with
Swamp
them.
Rabbits.
Yeah, that's where I learned how to ice skate.
Oh,
oddly
really?
enough.
What'd you
Yeah.
do? Were you the puck girl? Like the
No, I was marketing, and then I
Nice.
also was like game day. If you see the people out there with the headset,
Yes.
and all the graphics are changing. So I was the one
That's
who was
awesome.
like, "All right, next slide," and it felt cool. It was nice. Yeah.
you had like one of those
Legit?
little ear.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, I loved it. Felt
Those
like
are
Britney
nice.
Spears.
All right, so we got Pizza Party Tuesdays. Gonna be hot. I feel like that's a smart move. You mentioned Fish Fry Fridays, and that's every Friday.
Every Friday.
What kind of fish are we frying? Like what
Flounder.
are
We have fresh flounder right now. We're frying 11 to 3.
11?
A lot of times we run out a little early, so get there early.
Nice.
And then we have like a nice, not spicy remoulade sauce to go with it. But what's cool about our lunch is that it's like a healthy meat in 3.
Yeah.
So you pick your protein, whether it's tofu or birria,
Yeah.
like a stewed Mexican style beef, and then you pick 3 vegetables that we had. It's almost, when you get there, it looks like you're coming up on Thanksgiving dinner.
Right.
It's awesome. Yeah. And then you can pick like a pickle or a topping, and then we have homemade dressings that you put on it. So
Great. Love that.
it is. It's
Are you guys thinking of any other theme days? Like, are
any
we?
other theme day?
We have a list, but
You don't want to reveal them yet.
No.
it's a secret.
I love the idea of tacos, though. Tacos always is a nice grab. But I think you go Taco Mondays because everybody's
Doing Taco Tuesday.
yeah, and then you could hit them early.
So what I really think, I am thinking tacos, but I told you I had that big grill.
Yeah.
I just want to grill some meat
Get some
outside,
meat.
and then make tacos with that meat that I'm grilling, and then you can smell
nice.
the. I hope I didn't give my idea away to somebody else.
Yeah.
And then you can,
stealing it.
Yeah, they'll smell.
We're
Because
gonna
I'm
start
cooking over
smoking it out
wood,
front.
So the smoke you'll smell in the
Right.
whole neighborhood. It'll be awesome.
That would be awesome.
That's next after we perfect the pizza party. on
Yeah.
Tuesdays.
And then what other things like for the community? What are there anybody you guys are trying to connect with in the community of Columbia? Is there anybody that you like influencers or people that you'd like to come to your store, do events at your place? Like what does that look like?
So we do, right now we partner with Rooted Yoga. And so they host yoga for free
Sweet.
to anyone who wants to join. It's on Wednesdays and Sundays.
Wednesday from 6 to 7, and then
AM or PM?
PM.
Okay,
PM.
nice.
afterward.
Yeah.
And then Sundays from 2 to 3.
Yeah, so that's a...
And you just show up
Just
show up.
Bring a mat. We don't have any mats. Bring a mat.
Okay.
Yep.
Bring a friend too.
like that.
Sweet. We're gonna have to put this in the show notes.
Yeah.
Rooted
Definitely.
Yoga, Wednesday and Sunday.
So that's a good one. I just say anyone that's, I guess, within the same realm. I mean...
Anybody in the
you-
health space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
anyone in the
I
health
would
space.
honestly, I would like to connect with someone who wants to give like a health, what do you say?
Series
like
talk?
Yeah, I think that is that would be a cool thing. I haven't found anyone that does that yet.
Oh, we
so-
could rip. We have 8 docs that could do stuff like
Okay.
that,
Yeah.
depending on what topics, like nutrition, detox, you name it. They can do something.
Yeah.
A lot of that is. Do you feel like where people will show up? Because we've done a ton of series type stuff, and in office it works pretty well because we have a large base that we can just put a sign up sheet and can kind of get a lot of people. At your place, do you feel like when you guys throw it out there, people will attend these things?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
That's the thing about Columbia. People are really they want to come out
Yeah.
and do stuff. You know, I mean, I'll admit it. There's not a whole lot to do. So when there is something pops up, people are coming. I didn't think anybody would show up for our pizza party. We had
Yeah.
so many people show up. It was just me make a pizza.
That's awesome.
You know, so that's one thing I wanted to mention is like, if anybody's out there that's thinking about doing something and a little unsure, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it and then learn
See
and,
what
then
yeah.
and then do it again and make it better. Learn from your mistakes because really Columbia is we're ready for something.
Yeah, that's cool. We used to do shop with a doc, and we haven't done it in years.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah.
Bring a
That'd
bunch of
be
people.
fun.
We just bring a bunch of our patients down and coordinate times to kind of walk them through the store and point out stuff. That'd be
and
sweet.
we offer discounts and stuff
Yeah.
like that to you guys.
Because so
That'd be
many
awesome,
people
man.
don't know how to shop. They don't know.
They
don't
think
know-
too much.
or they
Yeah.
just don't even begin to. And maybe some of that is like eliminated in your store because you are a health food store. But when they walk into a traditional grocery store, it can be very confusing because it's kind of created to confuse you. Like if you're trying to eat healthy and trying to do the right things, it's like, well, if I'm looking at the label, it says like organic, but then when I turn it around, it's like, well, there's still a zillion ingredients in it. And so we've kind of tried to take the guesswork out of like, okay, this is how you read a label. This is, don't be deceived necessarily by what's on the front.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll put it in a brown
Yeah.
paper bag. It's all natural.
Right.
Right.
Is it though?
And I've noticed a lot of people are scared to come into my store that haven't been.
Right.
They're a little intimidated.
Yeah.
They kind of, maybe they feel judged.
Right.
We're not judging anybody. We're
Right.
happy to have you. We love turning people on to new things. And
Yeah.
I actually have that printed out. Everyone try new things, try new things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
We, Dr. Allison, Dr. Randy's wife, created a cookbook, and she found that the biggest barrier to people using it, even though we give it to our patients, is that they were like, well, I've never heard of like arrowroot or almond flour, or I don't know how to cook with it, so I'm not going to. So we did a workshop here in the office, and we're like, okay, everybody's going to pick a recipe. And if you run into issues along the way, like bring it like to the workshop and we'll talk about like how to overcome it so that everybody, and then everyone tried someone else's food and they were like, oh my gosh, like I wouldn't have picked that out of the cookbook. Like now I'm going to go home and make it. So that was a really fun experiment to do with our patients because they were like, I cooked with a bunch of ingredients I had never heard of before, or like this is something I wouldn't have thought to make, which was really good. And so I think can be intimidating in the health food space is like people don't always, they've never heard it or had it. And so they're a little bit afraid.
out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even before I met you, there's a lot of things I've learned from your background in cooking. I mean, I just was like a baked chicken, broccoli type girl.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of spices and ingredients that I've learned along the way. Yeah. So ask questions. Come in and ask us. We'll tell you. We'll help you out.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any, I guess in each department, I'm sure you have some sort of like expert, maybe?
Yeah, so each,
Or like
each
a-
department we have like a buyer or a manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of knows, like if you're like, hey, where's the almond flour and how to use that kind of thing.
Yeah.
What other, are you guys selling, do you guys sell any sweet merch? Like with Rosewood?
We do have sweet
What do you
merch.
got?
We have some t-shirts.
Shirts? You should put your face on one.
You think so?
Dude, I would
People
love
buy a
it.
shirt with my face on
I
it?
mean, look.
I mean, he wears his face on so many things.
We just throw it on everything. Golf balls,
Go
you name
for
it.
We need to do it.
Literally.
I would wear it. I know that.
Let's do
But
it. We actually one of our staff members is a really good artist, so she drew a picture of the store.
that's
But
cool.
what's cool about it is that we have this neighborhood cat that hangs out, and what's his name?
Omar.
Omar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we actually have Omar on the
That's
Sitting
cool.
out front.
That's awesome. Do you guys sell soaps?
We
Oh
do.
yeah.
Like a homemade type of deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, we from all over the world we have
Yeah?
some soaps. My favorite soap right now is this olive oil soap from Palestine. And
Really?
it's so good.
Buttery.
And it's sticky. You don't feel all dry
kinda
afterwards.
rubbing
But it's
my-
like a 2,000-year-old recipe.
Right.
My family's Lebanese, so when I was there 2 years ago, my uncle took me to a place that makes soap. In Tripoli, so it's like north of Beirut.
Yeah.
And the way that they cook the olive oil and they mix it and pour it on the floor, and they pour it to a certain thickness
Really?
and let it cure, and then they draw the these old guys are just
Old
their
school.
bodies are made for soap.
Yeah.
They're made for soap making. It's so cool, and they'll cut them and they stack them in these little rings so that they dry and cure for several more months. So I got to see the process, and now we sell it in the store. So
Very cool.
it's really beautiful, good stuff. Very clean, no weird fragrances and stuff,
Right.
and it's
Yeah.
not,
No chemicals.
very moisturizing. It's the only thing I use.
Yeah, we have a good health and beauty selection over there.
Do you like makeups and stuff too? Like some of that?
We don't sell
Not
makeup.
too much,
yeah.
No,
That gets out of
Used
control.
used to be in the makeup game, but it's just not a.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good soaps, bar soap. I don't know if you guys have ever tried like
I'm a bar soap guy.
or shampoo.
Oh, in the hair bar?
Yes, really good.
Really?
Yeah, gosh, now I can't remember the name of the brand, but those are the best. They last really
didn't know.
long, and they're just. I have fine hair, so it gives me a little bit
I
of.
have a shampoo bar, and
Volume.
it has lasted me so long.
Do you go straight just regular soap up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Palestinians.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Stephanie, how often are you washing your hair? You did.
Too much every day. It's
Are
a
you?
bad
I was a
thing.
daily
It's-
for a
yeah.
long time. I just broke that habit.
I can't. I don't know how to do it. Everyone goes dry shampoo. I can't find a dry shampoo.
Right.
You know, it's just.
I just kind of stopped. Like
I
my
ball
worry was
cap it. So,
I ball cap a lot.
you know.
Yeah,
What
that's
you're doing right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the
in
thing.
between haircuts too.
I mean, hair's
Hey,
bad.
I'll give you a
right now.
haircut, but I only know one type of haircut.
Yeah, no, we've had a couple of people from the hair world on the show, and they're just like once a week, kind of like
Yeah.
that's it. I'm
Yeah.
like, what do you do after working out? They just blow dry it.
Or the sun. You do the sun. You do a lot of it. Like I'm the same way. I like to wash it every day or every other.
I was doing like a couple. Every time I showered, so sometimes like twice a day, shampoo, everything. But
Started to try to, throw in a little hair mask. Okay, we'll go to bed with a little hair mask on.
yeah,
Makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
you guys see yourself in Columbia long term? Like you guys?
Yeah, like I said, we want to open multiple locations.
Yeah.
And so Lexington will be our first. I'd love to open one in Charlotte, one in Charleston.
One in Northeast Columbia.
one in
guys.
Northeast
We
Columbia.
need that. We need.
So
you
yeah, I see
guys.
us kind of
We need
moving
you up here.
around. Our kids will be graduated from school, high school.
6 years.
6 years.
Oh, wow.
5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
So we're here for the next 5 or 6 years, and then as we open other locations, we'll probably
Might move
bounce
around, yeah.
Yeah.
We love to travel. We love to. I mean, I think.
Yeah. Well, hiking.
Good-
You guys
yeah.
hiked
Yeah.
in
She's
recently?
having a good time.
Oh gosh, have I hiked recently? No, not recently, but I do. I love hiking. I love waterfalls.
Are you into camping? Are you guys campers?
I've only been camping
tents?
once, but I enjoy
Really?
it. I would go again. It's just been. I have to
love
be with people who
camping.
know how to set up everything because I don't know.
You
how
love
to.
camping?
I love camping because, and I haven't been in a while, but I went to the National Outdoor Leadership School and I took one of the
Oh,
courses in
wow.
the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, that's
so we went
awesome.
like backpacking and camping for 30 days.
No way.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Dang.
I hiked the AT for 3 days. And
I knew she
sobbed,
was gonna say it.
sobbed crying.
That's awesome. though.
Coming off of it. Well, I overpacked. That's the first problem.
yeah.
So I was too heavy, and then the whole like water drops coming out one at a time to get water. That wasn't for me, and so I was very ready to be done. And Tom likes to make fun of me because I bring it up every
She
chance
loves
I
it.
get.
That's why I was teeing it up for her to say that.
Yeah.
What do you guys like to do for fun?
What do we like to do? We like to cook. We like to have people over.
Nice.
A little dinner party when we're in town. But honestly,
You're
love
out
to,
of- yeah.
we love to go out of town. We love to
Yeah.
travel around, try new restaurants.
Concerts and we can catch them. We pop up to Asheville pretty frequently.
Yeah.
I love Asheville.
Just a freedom festival up
yeah,
there.
it's nice.
Really good restaurants, cool people.
Yeah.
I always come
Obviously,
back
we
with an
like-
idea or two, like we should do this in Columbia.
Yeah.
You know?
The grocery
The
store.
rivers are cool there.
Yeah.
Got a lot of great stuff.
I used to live there. I used to work at the French Broad Food Co-op.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I moved from Los Angeles to Asheville working at a food co-op.
I was going to say, what's been the progression coming back kind of home? I mean, obviously Columbia's not Los Angeles. Like,
No, so yeah,
Similar,
so I,
but-
I grew up
Big
in
culture
Florence,
shock.
and then when I went to culinary school, I went to Charlotte. I went to Johnson and Wales in Charlotte,
Yeah.
and then moved to LA. I have some family in LA, so I stayed with them for a little over a year while I was doing that internship.
Yeah.
And then I decided to come back home. So I came back home for a little while and worked with my parents at their restaurant. Moved to Asheville. Became a hippie. I mean, I grew my beard out like this. It was crazy.
Really?
Yeah. I started working at a health food store there, the food co-op. And then what? I moved back to Florence and started a seafood business. And then that turned into Rosewood Market. So, yeah.
I want to learn more about the seafood business. Like how smelly, like how you're good with smells, clearly.
Well, I own a health food store now. I had to get out of it. So you get tired of I mean, I grew up in it. I grew up cleaning fish and gutting fish and scaling them. And so, yeah, I mean, but the thing about local seafood, it's not like a booming industry like it used to be. So that's kind of what I felt like. I was like, I'm gonna, increase awareness of the importance of local seafood. So that was kind of my mission. I love seafood. I love eating good food, but I like to have like a deeper meaning to what I'm doing. So
Do you like to hunt and fish? Like, are you not into that?
I was going to ask, were you doing any of the fishing?
never. No, I don't have the patience for
I
that.
know.
For
The
that at
trout
all.
fishing, though. I
Oh,
took
we
him
did,
trout fishing
yeah.
for his birthday. That was
In the
fun.
mountains.
Cool.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Very
It was
cool.
only like 22 degrees. We had ice on the line, but I had a great time.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Sweet. Okay. Anything else that we need to promote? Anything? I mean, obviously let's drive people to your store. No brainer.
Yeah.
We'll do some shop with the docs. We'll figure out some sort of health series. That's a no brainer. Heck, we've been talking about doing a show outside of the studio. So maybe we'll
Yeah.
do like a,
Check out the patio.
Come do it on
Thing
our
there,
patio.
that'd be
We had
cool.
this huge mural of a honey bear laying
Yes.
over with the honey dripping out of it. Yeah,
that'd
I
be
think it'd
sweet.
a cool
That'd be sweet.
backdrop.
Do like an event. Yeah. Anything that you guys want people to follow your Instagrams?
Yeah.
What's the Instagram for you guys?
Rosewood Market SC.
Rosewood Market SC.
Someone apparently stole the original.
Ooh.
Who knows? Coming for you. I'm
Okay.
excited.
Any
Also,
yeah.
Wednesdays. We have wine tastings on Wednesdays.
Oh.
So Michael is our wine buyer, our
He's
local
awesome.
joke teller. He's great.
Yep.
Historian.
Is he the wine guy? Mike?
He's the wine
Yep.
guy.
Okay.
12 to 2.
Okay.
Yep.
He's got little snacks out there too.
That's
Get a
right.
good
Michaela was saying
story.
the lunch wine.
Oh my gosh.
That's the move.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Come out on the
Yeah,
patio.
Wednesdays.
have a
Come
glass
out on the
of wine.
patio and
Yeah.
have a bottle of wine.
A bottle, yeah.
We've
Love
got lots
that.
of things to highlight.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on the show. This has
Thanks
been
for
great.
having
us.
Yeah.
Guys.
Thanks for having
Go check them
us.
out.
We've been fans for a while. Like, I'm gonna go check it out.
I'm so glad you guys did.
We're here for the health of it.
For the health of it.